Hi everybody, how are you guys? It's Karmika here and I'm here with your weekly tarot reading. So I'm doing the pyramid spread, which is 3 cards at the bottom for the base of the pyramid, then another 2 cards for the middle, and one final one. So how this is going to work is I'm going to show you a crystal. Each of these crystals are associated with a certain deck. You won't know which one, and see which crystal resonates with you. Pick your crystal now as I show them to you, and then in this video I'm going to give you a certain reading per that crystal. So 100%, let's start. First up, we've got a beautiful clear quartz. It's got a little bit of a rainbow effect in it. So feel if that one's for you. Secondly, we've got a massive chunk here of rose quartz. It's just a raw piece of beautiful pink rose quartz. It's got a little bit of almost a purplish on it. Maybe that one's for you. And lastly, we've got a beautiful amethyst for tranquility, and it is encased inside smoky quartz. So yeah, decide which one is yours and let's start. So first of all, we are using the clear quartz, and that is the Wizard's Tarot, and that is by Corinne Kenner. Now, while I'm shuffling, please think about if you ever want a full reading, just send me a DM for one-on-one reading, or send me an email at thehouseofserendipityacademy@gmail.com. All of the information will be in the description below. So let's start your reading. So our first reading for today, we'll get Ace of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and we do have the Eight of Cups. So there's a lot of truth that's come out recently about some situations in your life. What I'm feeling here is some of it might have hurt you quite a bit, that the truth came out so late. I don't think it was always intentional to hide things away from you, from people, hiding things. I think a lot of it has been you also choosing to not see things for what they really are. But right now you're learning a lot of lessons because of it. As the truth is coming out, you are seeing things for what they really are, and that's making you reevaluate your entire life, your entire being, every situation in your life. You are finally at that point of your life where you're looking for truth. You're not interested in the beautiful lie anymore. You want to not live some illusion at all. So you are learning quite a lot from this. You are trying to move forward, but it's also time for you to just take inventory of the lessons that you've been learning. Which brings us to the Eight of Cups. There's a lot of things that you need to turn your back on and move away from, especially from an emotional point of view. You know what? Not everything was meant to hurt you. And I think it's very important for you to remember that. That's the message coming through. It's not everything was just meant to hurt you. Certain things, it was just a situation. It was life. Life was happening. So don't feel too bad about this situation. You know what? You've got a very bright future ahead of you. Don't let this hold you back. Yes, there's been secrets. Yes, there's been lies. But you know what? You do know the truth now. So bringing us to the second tier. We've got the Transfiguration card. That's the Unalive card. And then secondly, we've got the Knight of Wands. And what I'm feeling here is after all of this has happened, you're in a very transitional period. You had a very clear ending to a lot of things in your life right now, and I know you're hovering a bit and you're going like, what's next? Well, what's next is you're getting your wings and you're going to fly. This is your new beginning. This is where you should be heading in life. You know what? You've been through caterpillar stage. You've cocooned, which is exactly what I see in the previous cards. You've cocooned. You've ignored the truth for a very long time, and now you've come out of that cocoon, dry those beautiful wings that you have, and actually take flight. The moment you do it, you will be leaving behind so many things in the Nine of Wands. You will be moving towards your dreams, your ideals, your motivations, your aspirations. It's ambition coming back. It's you knowing what to do next. It's you believing that you can do it. And it's leaving behind things like depression, dark thoughts, spiral thinking, when you're spiraling down thinking, because you overthink quite a lot. So move away from that. It does not serve you anymore. There is light at the end of the tunnel, which comes with the last card, the sun. There is literally light at the end of the tunnel. It is the sun at the end of the tunnel. There's happiness waiting. There's joy waiting. There's so much promise. The sun is ready to shine on you. So get to that, and get to that as soon as what you possibly can. That is where you are supposed to be heading, is towards the sun. And it's a beautiful place to be. It doesn't mean that there won't be bumps and turns on the road ahead, but for the most of it, you're going to be happy for a change. You're going to be happy. Which brings us to the rose quartz, the crystal of love. And for that, we're going to be using the huge deck, the Druidcraft Tarot. I've had this deck for so many years. I very seldom use it because they are so big that they can get a bit difficult to work with at times, but a beautiful deck nonetheless. So the bottom of the pyramid, the Lord, which is the Emperor. We've got the Four of Cups, and we've got the Princess of Cups, the Page of Cups. Wonderful. So let's have a look. Oh, this is all about emotion. This is all about emotion. You have got this intense need to protect yourself. So that already tells me there's a lot of hurt in the past. There's a lot of people in the past that you've had to cut out. Maybe you're a bit of the black sheep of the family as well. And since then, you've just had this intense need to constantly protect yourself, to keep your boundaries up and to not trust anybody. Well, now you're at a point in your life where there are people moving back into your life. People are reaching out to you. Some are people of the past, some are family members. There's some new people, and you go like, do I want this? Do I actually want these people in my life? And you know what? I think this is something that you need to do. It is time for you to open yourself up again. For a very long time, you've been completely closed off to everybody, not trusting anybody. And I get it. You've been hurt in the past. You've had a lot of battles in the past, but you know what? That is over. You have set your boundaries. You now know where your boundaries are. Back in the day, you didn't know what your boundaries were. You didn't set any boundaries, and that was part of why you got hurt in the first place. You've learned from that. It is okay to allow people back into your life. And having said that, just be careful. Not everybody comes with good intentions. So set up your boundaries. Those who try and push just a little bit past that boundary, they're out. They're out. If people want to be in your life, they need to accept your boundaries. So take care of your emotions. You don't need to put yourself in a situation where you can get hurt. As long as you're clear about what you want out of life and what your boundaries are going to be, you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine. Because next up we've got the World, and we've got the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles does seem to be a bit of a theme today. It's all about learning lessons today. It's all about looking at how far you've come and what you've learned and starting to implement it into your life. And this is what's going on here. When you start implementing the lessons that you've learned, and taking the hurt and saying, you know what, this isn't a bad thing that's happened to me. Yes, it might have not felt very nicely, but it has set me on a path of enlightenment and a path where I've learned about who I truly am, what my boundaries are. You know, once you have seen it for what it is, you know what, you are in full control of your world. Your world becomes controlled by you and only you. Remember, your world is what you create. You create your world. You decide what's going on in your house, in your life. You are in control. And as long as you remember you're in control, you'll be 100% fine. Bringing us to the last card, which is the Three of Swords. There's been a lot of wisdom through suffering. But just remember, if you're going to fear the Three of Swords, if you're going to fear being hurt again, if you're going to fear heartache, that's what you're going to attract. At this point, I almost want to say this is full on a relationship reading. This could be a love relationship reading as well. And if you're going to fear getting hurt, that's exactly what's going to happen. But if you're not going to fear it, and you're going to take the wisdom that you've accumulated because of being hurt in the past, setting out your boundaries perfectly, you know what? This time around, it's going to be very, very different. Yeah, that is our second reading. Now for the last one, we have the Amethyst, which is one of my favorite stones. It's so difficult to actually pick a favorite stone. But yeah, for that we are using the Witch's Tarot, and this one is by Ellen Dune. Right. So we've got the Fool on the pyramid. Next up, we've got the Ten of Wands. We've got the Sun. I've got a friend who would so dislike the Sun card just because it's got a kid on a horse. We've got Justice. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So we've already packed out 2 tiers here. Let's start at the Fool, going into the Ten of Wands and then the Sun. So obviously you are in a situation in your life where you need to take a leap of faith. It's very unclear what's going to happen next. You just know that you are at the end of certain experiences in your life. I don't want to say situation, it's more like experiences. You've been living this kind of an adventure, you've been on this journey, and this journey is actually coming to an end, and you need to decide what's going to happen next, what's going to be the next adventure, what's going to be the new journey, because let's be honest, it's coming to an end and it's getting closer. You're going to need to take a leap of faith. You know, when I'm looking at the Ten of Wands, you thought to yourself that this is going to be the end, this is going to be the destination, this is what you've worked towards for such a long time, and sorry, it's not. You know, there is no destination, it's a journey. There's pit stops along the way, and you can choose to stop here, but I don't think you want to. I think you've got so much more that you want out of life. You've got so much more to give. You've got so much more that you want to learn, which is where the Sun's coming in as well. If you stop now, you're going to be content. You're not going to be happy. Not at all. And you know what? Contentment, with you being such a curious person, a person who gets bored easily, a person who constantly wants and needs stimulation and wants to learn something new and do something new, you shouldn't stop. This isn't the destination. It's time to take a leap of faith. Now it's time for a new journey. It's time for a new adventure. And we're getting to the Justice card, and I know you're weighing up your options, and I know you need to make a decision, but I also know that you're in a place of good contentment at the moment. You're thinking to yourself, you know what, I've worked towards this. This is kind of where I wanted the situation to be. This was my goal. Maybe I should stop. And I think the answer is no, because otherwise we wouldn't have these scales going up and down and going like, Is this what I really want? Is this what I really want? Or is there something more? The answer is yes, there's always something more. You know what? Put your sights so much higher. You put your sights high, but you put it to where you knew you could reach it. You went like, let's do the moon. Hell with the moon, go further star, go Milky Way galaxy. Even if you don't make it to that end result, you're going to be a hell of a lot further than where you are now. And I think that's what you're craving. You're craving that adventure. I think for the first time, you're craving something that you have no idea of what the outcome would be. And Six of Wands, you're going to be victorious in it. You are going to be victorious. You are going to get exactly what you set your sights on if only you take that leap of faith. And I know it's scary because you are content. You're in a comfortable space right now. But you know what? Comfort's boring sometimes. You can still keep the stability and still take the leap of faith. You can have both. You can have the best of both worlds. So that is our weekly reading. If you want much fuller reading, an hour and a half reading, and we're working through the entire tarot deck here directly to you, then send me a DM or send me an email. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, you can do the exact same thing and I can send you a bit more information. So I hope you have a lovely day further. I hope you have a lovely week. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to like this video, maybe subscribe or follow, depending on which platform you're watching on today. And I'm going to see you guys again next week with the weekly reading. But please remember, I've also got a daily reading going on, and I've also got videos where I just focus on 3 of your questions and answer them for you. So 100%. So I'm going to see everybody tomorrow, unless you want to go and watch the other 2 videos. 100%. Have a lovely day further. Bye.